So I guess I'll start with like when I signed up to have a show here. I contacted Abby when she had the call for entries, and I really wanted to do a show about motherhood because I have a lot of kids, and it's what I know very well. It's where my life revolves. It's like in the home place and around the care of my children and my mother. And I really wanted to get a slot for the month of May for Mother's Day. And so I was really excited that I was able to get this month. And then like all of the stuff with the pandemic happened, and my life kind of like changed drastically from like just being like kind of hard to get like time for artwork in to being like almost impossible because I took on the task of homeschooling 4 of my school age children, and I've never homeschooled. And I am very involved in like the homework process that my children do. Like while I'm cooking, they're there doing homework, I'm there to answer questions. But I've never been one to be like, I'm going to teach you things and spend 4 hours a day reading out loud and stuff like that. So, school started in September. We did 2 weeks of distance learning, and then I gave up. I said, this is impossible for my family. I have a 70, no, she's not 70, she's 82 now, 82-year-old mom that I take care of. And I have 6 children living at home, and so 4 of them were school age, and the other one was the oldest is in college, and so her schedule was all crazy because everything closed down, and so we started off trying to do the distance learning, but it did not work for us. There were too many interruptions, and there were hours and hours and hours of being on the computer, and I just couldn't do it. So most of the year I wasn't working on my show, and I kept telling myself I will get to it because right now I'm homeschooling. And sometime around December, the end of December, I pulled out a bag of clay and I started working on some sculptural pieces while we were watching, documentaries and different videos and learning things. Or in the evening when as a family we were watching like a show or a movie. And so I started developing this idea for like a shrine to motherhood. And that was it came from my experience with my mom and like her mental illness and the shrines and altars and things that she would build when her illness was like really, really severe. And so I started off with the little hands. I started doing my children's hands and my hand, and I didn't get all the children done. I missed my 2 oldest. But I found that working in the ceramics was like comforting, a lot more relaxing than working on a painting. It allows for like big mistakes in the beginning, like you can go back and like not feel like it's the end of the world. I think that painting is a little bit more rigid for me. And so it was good for me to get started on that, to just kind of like get my brain into the get my brain in the place of like creating. And then I think sometime around February, I freaked out and was like, okay guys, my show's in May. And Abby, don't mess around, I'm not gonna turn things in last minute. So I told my family, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not teaching, you guys deal with it. I'm just gonna focus on this. But of course I was lying, I did cook and clean and, just not well. So my house is like trashed. But everybody kind of had to pick up slack to help me out. And so I was, I'm always really proud of my children and my family for as like chaotic as it is, and like as much of like sibling rivalry and just obnoxious behavior that happens in our house, like they have my back, and I appreciate that. So I managed to get this done in the nick of time, and I had probably like 60 images in a folder in my phone that I was working from. I probably wanted like 40 paintings done. And then at some point I was like, well, maybe just 26 for the years that I've been a mom. And, but like that didn't work out either. I got to 24. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this expression of, my life and like just, I really wanted this to be like an extension of like, for people, for women and for men too that don't have maybe the perspective of like what this kind of life is like, the like intimate moments and like what's involved in like giving yourself completely to other people. But then like, me being able to create, I have to, make it clear to my family that I have an identity outside of being their mother or being a caregiver or being a wife. I don't know, I think for me it's just very important that I continue, to be able to express myself in this way.